Before we continue with today's presentation, it is so very important that we do an acknowledgement of traditional lands. Royal Roads University acknowledges that the campus is located on the traditional lands of the Cosepsan, Esquimalt, and Plikwangin Songhees ancestors and families. It is with gratitude that we now learn and work here, where the past, present, and future of Indigenous and non-Indigenous students, faculty, and staff come together. Welcome. So today's session, just to make sure everybody's in the right room, is our question and answer, the BA in International Hotel Management. And in the room today, I have Moira McDonald, who is our program head for the BA in International Hotel Management. We have Trina White, who teaches in the program. She's associate faculty. And we also have Steve Kleinschmidt, who is also associate faculty in the program. And my name is Moira A, and I'm an educational specialist. Awesome. Shall we keep going? You can give me a thumbs up. Give me that thumbs up reaction or a physical one. Perfect. All right, let's keep going. So today's agenda, nice and simple. Welcome and introduction, which is what we're doing right now. We're gonna jump into a question and answer with faculty, which I'm very excited about. And then afterwards, we'll go through our program overview. And like I mentioned, we'll do questions at the end, but feel welcome to pop them in the chat as they come up so you don't forget. All right, so I'm going to quickly introduce people in the room. Don't mind me while I look to my screen to the side for their bios, but we have Moira McDonald here with us. Give us a wave, Moira. Awesome. Moira is the program head for the Bachelor of Arts in International Hotel Management. With 20 years of experience in academia and the hospitality and tourism industries, her senior level hospitality experience and teaching experience provide exciting classroom discussion, problem-based learning and discovery, relevant topic analysis and inquiry. And I want everybody here to join me in congratulating Moira for recently being nominated for the Royal Roads University Kelly Teaching Award. So very exciting news. We also have in the room today, Trina White. She is an associate faculty member teaching in this program, and she has a diverse background in the hotel business with more than 16 years of experience, including 13 years in management roles. Her career began as an adventure tour guide before she moved into hotels. White is known for her commitment to integrating environmental practices into everyday business. Besides teaching at Royal Roads, White works as the general manager of the Parkside Hotel and Spa, where she has been since 2009. Welcome, Trina. And we also have Steve here with us today. Steve Kleinschmidt is an associate faculty member as well for the Bachelor of Arts in International Hotel Management program. His focus is strategic planning, marketing, branding, corporate culture, and corporate finance. In addition to running an active private consulting practice, he provides mentorship to industry executives in Canada and Asia. Steve has been the vice chairman of asset management and the president of the Marco Polo Hotel Group, now known as Wharf Hotels, headquartered in Hong Kong. Prior to leading the Marco Polo Hotel Group, he was a senior vice president with PricewaterhouseCoopers. Welcome, Steve. And now I'm going to welcome Moira to facilitate a conversation with our faculty.
Moira, thank you so much. I noticed you pronounced your name differently than I pronounce it, so I was really listening there. Thank you so much. This is just delightful. What a beautiful introduction. Thank you. I just get so proud when I think about our amazing instructors, associate faculty that we have in front of our students. It's at such an exciting degree and at such a very, very important time to really thrive in this changing space that we're in. And I am thrilled to have Trina and Steve to hang out with. These are two fantastic individuals, industry partners, who also teach. Both of them have 2 courses in our program. So I thought, what a powerhouse moment to have each of you join us today. Thank you so much for this. I was driving in this morning, and it's just such a beautiful space. I'm also on the Royal Roads campus this morning on the ancestral lands, as Amara has mentioned. And I was looking at Steve's car parked outside the classroom. He's got a class this morning at 9, so he's going to be with us until 8:30, and Trina's got a busy general manager day ahead, and they bring so much to the classroom. And I think these are the exciting moments that students want to know about, and I think knowing who's in front of you is really, really powerful. And the course content is just fantastic, what can be brought to the students to learn and think about and critically think. And I thought that might be part of our conversation today, since we do have Trina and Steve with us, and they each teach 2 courses. When I was listening to the word corporate finance, I thought, uh-oh, that's just such a big topic. But you do it so well. You bring numeracy and numbers to the students, and as Trina knows, as a GM, you have to understand the numbers, but you do this just so beautifully. So I was thinking maybe we could just have a nice conversation starting off, maybe with Steve. I see you've unmuted, which is beautiful, and maybe between the 3 of us, just talk about your courses, because that's really, there's lots of fun and vibrancy and enjoyment being in a cohort model here with us at Royal Roads in the BAIHM, and the course content is really where you're spending your majority of your time. So would you like to lead us off, Steve, and talk a little bit about what your classes look like, what the content is, since you have 2, and then Trina, just jump in after Steve and back and forth, and we'll just go from there. Does that sound all right? Because I know you probably have students coming in anytime now as well.
Well, terrific. I'm sure everyone can see I'm actually in the classroom this morning, and in the same building. If you look at Moira's backdrop, you'll know that's the building that I'm in, and this is the class that's getting started this morning. So I'll start off first with the Value Co-Creation and Experience Marketing class, and that's the class that I have this morning. It's final presentation day for the students, and Value Co-Creation Experience Marketing is all about the experience economy that we're in, and how marketing plays such a central role in the experience-based economy, and the concepts of value co-creation in the interaction between guests and hospitality-related businesses, and the creation of goods and services, in examining issues of branding, looking at immersive experiences and how those can be created by hospitality businesses. And the theory, but the practical applications around all of those are a central theme to this particular course. And today, the students are going to be presenting their final experiential marketing campaign project, which is a culmination of all of the course content. And it brings together all of those key pieces into a presentation by all of the teams on an experiential campaign for a destination hotel in Victoria, BC. And they are putting themselves in the shoes of an advertising and marketing agency and putting together a campaign for a prospective client. And it's going to be an exciting morning and an opportunity for them to bring together all of those value co-creation and experiential marketing campaign concepts that we've covered in the course, and bring them to their campaign pitch. And so I'm looking forward to that this morning. It's a terrific course, very timely, of course, for many of the students. Their use of social media and digital means of communication understand a lot of the course content around the digital applications of marketing concepts. And that's a central focus. So for those of you who are interested in marketing, it is very leading edge related material and practically applied in the hospitality space. The second course is hospitality finance. And before everybody gets too intimidated by the word finance, it's a nice continuation actually of the Value Co-Creation Experience Marketing course, because we can bring that project concept to the feasibility study, which is the central focus of the hospitality finance course. That's the major project. So all of the hospitality finance concepts that the students need to learn and understand, that are going to be applied and be front and center in your careers as future leaders in the industry, are brought to a major project in hospitality finance, which is the feasibility of a new hotel development. And it requires the application of all of those financial concepts. So it's not, we use it in a stepwise fashion, where all of those concepts are a lead up to the feasibility related project. And again, like value co-creation, experience marketing, an opportunity to practically apply those theories and concepts that are so much, so important and front and center with all of the content.
It's fantastic that we have that artifact at the end of that third year where they've really sequences through well. So they start in that experiences marketing space, then they go in, they do a feasibility, and they can leave with an artifact. Like they have a work that they could show to an internship employer on the when they're going in, or they can talk about all of the components of a feasibility study. And do the students ever decide at the end that putting the hotel in that spot, wherever you pick, is not feasible? Do they come up with, or is it targeted to be a feasible space that they're working through?
They are encouraged to very critically assess using the financial concepts, net present value analysis and internal rates of return as measures to determine whether or not the project is feasible. And if those are negative, then they are to conclude that the project is not viable. And this is a very real world in terms of how hotel development takes place. And hospitality finance is very much focused on the idea that as future leaders in the industry, it could be feasibility of a restaurant expansion in a hotel. It could be a standalone hotel. It could be, we're always required to assess financial viability in our careers, whether they be large or small projects. And if they are negative, then that old adage of speak truth to power applies. And if it's a negative study, it's a negative study.
Very interesting. I might have to pop in this morning too, maybe to see if I can sneak in and hear some of the presentations.
Yeah, absolutely. The students would love it. And today they are making that pitch to a prospective client on whether their campaign, their marketing campaign and ideas are the most attractive. And of course, I am the adjudicator today, and it would be great to have a compatriot to have a listen in.
Love it. That's great, and thank you. When they're involved in this kind of work, I know that Trina brings in the sustainable development goals, and she brings in the climate and social change conversations as well. And you both work with technology and changes in technology, and you bring that to the classroom. I'm wondering if when they're doing their presentations, do they bring in the pieces? Maybe Trina could speak to what they'll do with understanding, the carbon footprint of a hotel and all the work that Trina is doing as well. This is really very connected from both of your courses. Well, thank you, Steve. If I can be there, I'm going to just pop upstairs and see some of the presentations.
Terrific.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Trina and Steve, on the sustainability level, maybe Trina, how does that play into your two courses as well that you teach for us?
Yeah, well, the first course that I teach with the third years is sustainability in hospitality. And there we do really look at social change, climate change, new economies, because there's all sorts of new economy models emerging, like donut economics, blue economy, green economy, regenerative economies, circular economies. There's a few different models now emerging. So we really look at these different economies and look at the 17 sustainable goals that have been put forward by the UN, and kind of look at it to a business level. How can we apply these economies? How do we apply these 17 sustainable goals? And we always try to do live work with businesses. So last year, we had the amazing opportunity to do an analysis in teams for Destination Greater Victoria. Destination Greater Victoria is the local destination marketing organization, and they were looking to certify the destination. And there's a few global certification models. There's green destinations, there's biosphere tourism, and a few other ones. And so the teams got together, or they worked individually in their teams to do a full analysis of the pros and cons of each of these certifications, and looking to Victoria as a destination, and to figure out ultimately, they did a benchmarking exercise, and and tried to figure out what was the best recommendation for certification. And the consensus from the team projects was biosphere tourism was the leading one, with green destinations followed second. And all of these benchmarking exercises were presented to Destination Greater Victoria and to their sustainability committee that they have within their organization. And they followed the advice of the student projects, and they have just recently, I think like last week or the week before, signed an intent with Biosphere Tourism to certify the destination. And the money has been put aside now for the consultants to come in, because this is a big project. So that all stemmed from Royal Road students, from doing that first grassroots exercise, because the DMO, a Destination Greater Victoria, wasn't sure which direction to go. So that was the big project last year. I'm going to be teaching this course come January. So I just finished mapping out what we're doing this coming year. And what we're going to do is, because when you have a destination that's now certified, the members need to start looking to certification as well, or ranking within Biosphere. And so we're going to go out and pick a number of hospitality businesses, probably about 9 businesses, and help them go through their actual certification with Biosphere. And Biosphere really uses those 17 sustainable goals so that we can start helping, because it is going to be a big learning journey for the hospitality community here in Victoria. So that's kind of sustainability. And then I also teach leading edge trends in hospitality, which is a 4th year course. I'm doing that right now. And this really is it's changed a lot since COVID, because the trends have changed vastly. So we cover, typically we kind of go through, human resource trends, through to technology trends, through to now labor shortages that we're seeing. And we also look at each sector, cruise, air, accommodation. We look at trends that a destination goes through from a life cycle. And really what we're trying to give them is tools to try to predict future trends, so that they can position their future business or their future positions around that, and be a little bit ahead of the curve, but also to stay away from fads and things that aren't long lasting. So that's where courses like Steve's with net present value comes into play. He wants technology. They're all like, let's do this great thing. But once you break it down to your your net present value, you might say, okay, that robot, as a concierge doesn't quite work. So it's a fun course. It's really fun. And we're just hitting on a bunch of stuff to try to give them a sense of how to forecast trends and where to even find information on how to predict what trends are coming. So those are kind of 2 courses that we do.
That's brilliant. And I super appreciated your guest speaker yesterday. You had the GM from Accent Inns join the class over Zoom and brought in, a plethora of conversations about trends and what they were doing. And you know, how things that may have been popular or unpopular are now either popular or unpopular based upon what people want now and those changing trends, and looking at that leading edge hospitality. That was an excellent experience for the students yesterday with your guest speaker, I found. And the term was used, the Great Resignation. And so with folks that have decided to resign and not come back, has filled this space is filled. I noticed it this summer with our students in the internships, that their responsibilities were amplified because they were able to take on more and more and really show their education in that internship space. It got very exciting, exciting to see. And we'll talk about that a little bit more throughout the morning today about what the program looks like. I'm really appreciate both of you. I know you're on top of things. You're paying attention very clearly to what was happening in Glasgow and climate action plans, and bringing things, you know, from the world to the students so that they can have those big moments with their careers, because it is a career space that we're training to. We're also training to research and graduate studies. So we have students who are choosing, about 10% of our students are going on to grad studies right from the BA. It's a very exciting Bachelor of Arts to be taking, as you're in with fantastic associate faculty like yourselves, and amazing colleagues and peers that you get to work with on some of these team assignments, that you really are learning from each other as well. And then moving into, some have decided to move into graduate studies because you've ignited a passion in certain areas for some students. They want to go on and they want to understand, you know, the food science, and why do we, you know, farm to fork, and what does that look like? And so there's students who are going into those Masters of Science programs. There's students who are going on to look at education because they know that that's a key component to their future careers and what they can bring to the world. It is a change-making, you know, space, and it starts with you. And so I'm just really, really grateful for both of you. You just ignite the interest. You have the critical thinking happening. You're making them, you know, as the generation to come, is that they're going to make the difference. I mean, I'm done. They have to take it from here. And so all those moments are adding up to big change. And so I greatly appreciate all of those things that you do on a daily basis. You know, listening, I know what's happening this morning in your class, Steve. I know, Trina, you're planning for your January, just to hot off one course you've taught already now, and you're a very busy general manager. I assume you're also working with the BC Hotel Association with the work that you were talking about a moment ago, bringing the students right into that real action. It's an action research space that you're really working in so beautifully. You know, I know Steve has to go, and Trina, I know you've got a lot going on today. If anyone wants to connect with you, I think Mara will probably be putting some details in the future. We do have research opportunities for students to apply for grants for research. MyTax is one of them. Steve was part of leading one of our students who just is graduating, just graduated now this year. She was successful in getting a MyTax Research Award, a $6,000 grant. And I read her report. It's fantastic. Just brilliant you know, work happening there. And I'm super excited to see, Trina, what you're bringing to the students again in January. You just fill my boots. So thank you both so very much. And I'm really, really grateful to have you here today.
Our pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, Moira, Steve, Trina. That was just wonderful to listen in. I learned a lot today as well. So now I think we're going to jump into the next part of our presentation, where we do a program overview. Steve, Trina, if you have to pop off, we totally understand. I know it sounds like you have a very busy day, but you're welcome to stick around as well and join us for the rest of the session. And can everybody see my screen okay? I should probably confirm that. Yeah, okay, awesome. So the question that we're going to kind of guide this next portion with is, why study international hotel management at Royal Roads University? And I know we've answered that in a lot of ways, but we're going to keep going, and Moira is going to talk more about the program.
you so much. Yeah, this is great. Thank you for flipping our style. Normally we'll do this first and then do something else, but this is great. I really accommodated, which is, I think, is indicative of what we do. We're very flexible and accommodating. And so we did that today to allow Steve and Trina to get their days ahead of them, and they answered right away they wanted to be a part of this. But here we are talking a little bit about you. So now for yourself, this is an applied degree. You get hands-on experience with internships. We help with that. You are placed, you have opportunities to work in places. And like I said, this summer, I was really excited about the students and the extra responsibilities and leadership and supervision and management that they were getting. We have about a class size of 35. Right now our class is at 40 for our fourth years. We do quite a bit of industry analysis, so you are getting on you know, the buses and going places with us and going to take a look at what the industry is up to. Some of the projects are artifacts that you can use later and show to future employers. So you do have something there to also bring forward. And we're always working on that career development. So certifications, our third year digital communications group just finished a Hootsuite certification. We look at Smith Travel Research and help you get accreditations with their numbers, being able to understand how the data works in a destination. So we do that very clearly, and we're going to talk a little bit about your international opportunities if you want to take a semester abroad. Yeah, we're right here. Next intake, we'll see you in September. And the deadline says June, but we're pretty flexible. We really are quite flexible with that too. If something comes in July, we certainly wouldn't close the door and make anyone wait a year. This is a 4-year degree, and if you're with us in the first and second year, or if you're with us like Nate, with Susan on the call, your students would come from their college diploma and come into our third year. And the first instructors they would have would be Steve and Trina along those lines. So they would come in and hit the ground running in the third year. So by the fourth year, your students, for example, Susan would have their diploma with you, and inside the 4 years, then another 2 years, they'd have the degree. So in 4 years, they'd have the two credentials, which is very exciting. And just to add on that, we're actually going to reintroduce our revised accelerated program. So your students in the program who would be coming to us, or yourselves who are on the call listening, you would be able to finish if you wanted to. We are adding, instead of just 4 courses or so in your program, you might be taking 5 or 6, in which case you would finish early. So you could be finished in January instead of at the end of August. That's really exciting. It's not for everybody, but it's certainly exciting for our winter resort community that is really anxious to have you in their business. So I think that that's just something very exciting, and keep on top of that. Yeah, we're super pleased to be bringing that back. So it's it's a year and a half instead of 2 years. And these are the pathways that you can experience while you're here. This is very clean, very straightforward. Love welcoming students into the first year of the program. I'm teaching the second years this afternoon. We have big things planned today, and they're 1 week away from finishing their second year term 2. So it's very exciting. We did some field study this year, a lot of outdoor experiences. And so this is getting our students all set to meet those of you that are coming into the third year. So we all join together then in the third year and graduate together as a 4-year model. And if you decided to go on into graduate studies in our school, you can stay with us for your Master's of Arts in Tourism Management, which is a degree that I did here as well. And internships. So this is a, thank you, Amara, that's so gorgeous. This is a big part, the whole overall, the internships are a big part of our program. So we really have those as a foundation. And they hit at the right time of your program. So a student in their second year who may or may not have a lot of work experience is amplified in their experience in the summer. So they stay here with us in Canada. They do their internship here. They work with Canadian employers, with Canadian peers and cohort colleagues, and we're all a part of that. So we could be going having coffee in a day in July, talking about your workplace and how that's going. And then that brings you into the third year, joining with others who have a diploma from other places, coming in here, joining together, and then you can take your last internship either in the summer between your third and fourth year, or you can wait until the end. If you wait till the end, then you also can hit the luxury brand leadership programs. So for Accor and Marriott, you can end up applying for their Inspire programs. Their student work exchange program is also available in the second year. So if you're taking your full degree, the 4 years with us too, you wait until the end for your internship, then you're part of a luxury brand space if you wanted to go and work for 18 months, 12 to 18 months, and then there's employment at the end of that. This is very exciting. So we do a lot of sessions on that, and they come and chat with us about it. And Marriott as well, in their leadership programs, very excited to have our students. It's been brilliant, because what's happening now is our students who are on these programs are in the workforce, and they're now hiring our graduates, so, and hiring for internships. So this whole that little arrow on internship is really, that's an underwhelming little arrow, because there's so much that happens, you know, in that time frame. Thanks, Amara, for putting that back up for me. And here's just a nice slide that will show you some opportunities. This picture actually is just upstairs from where I'm sitting. These are some of our master's students, and we have so much happening that you could be taking a part of. I have a second year event management course in our program, and our students are right now they're doing it's fantastic. I was looking at it on YouTube. They're doing an invitation to a holiday event, and they've invited all of us to this event this coming month. So just really quite an enjoyable watching the hands-on experience in each of these courses. So these are just careers that might spark for you. It really transcends a lot of the learning will transcend a lot of different careers too. So these skills, knowledge and skills you can take to your areas. And I think find your passion. Find in one of these moments, you're just really going to find your passion and can start to branch out into where you want to go. And I did mention earlier about people extending their education into graduate studies as well. Thank you, Amara. Transfer options, you might see yourself on the screen if you're joining us from one of the colleges as an administrator. Super excited to work with all of our colleges. My background's with Algonquin College in Ottawa, so I was there for a dozen years and loved every minute of it. So we're very excited to work with our colleges, because we know that the students that are coming with the diploma to us in the third year are so exciting to have. We work with Canada Tourism College recently, and one of their graduates was nominated for one of our highest level awards at Royal Roads and has just graduated. So we're just super pleased to be in this space, having an opportunity to do this degree completion for someone who has a great college experience and then wants to go on and get their degree. We work with Douglas College as well. Many of us in the industry are still friends, so it's a very large, huge economic impacting career, but it's very small. Like, we all know each other. And Douglas College, one of their head administrators and I were working together in Whistler many years ago, and we both had a conversation at one of our leadership conferences, and we said, why don't we put our students together? Let's go to Whistler. So were already doing this, and they had a hugely vibrant program where their students go to Whistler and run an event. And I just said, can we come? Can we tag along? And so we did. And our second year students, who are now our fourth year and graduating next last year, they all met up. They ran a conference together at the Shadow Whistler Resort. Fairmont was fantastic and hosted us. Weston wants to participate with us this year as things evolve, and it just doesn't stop giving. I'm interested to go to Holland College. I'm hoping to get a trip out to Prince Edward Island this summer, in which case I want to make some connections there and see some folks. And Alberta, you know, any of these moments, and if I can get to Alberta, I'm coming to see you too. So Susan, get ready. This is just so exciting. I love the transfer options and working with our friends in Ontario and our friends in Alberta and East Coast and in Quebec and certainly in BC. We have lots of graduates of our master's programs as well who've gone on to stay in education. BCIT, for example, their administration also knows us really well. So these connections just keep on giving. So this is a very exciting screen for me, just to see how many opportunities the students have to come to us from their diploma. Thank you, Mara. And these are some of the courses. I think we covered this well with our associate faculty, but I only shared with you 2 associate faculty this morning that are just off the hook, amazing individuals. And these courses that are on your screen now are taught by a continued group of outstanding individuals. So we added, I don't see it on here yet, we just added a research methods course, unless it's there and I don't see it, but we just added that. So our 3rd year students and our 4th year are taking research methods. We identified an opportunity here because of students going on to grad studies. We thought we need to show them a little bit about doing safe and ethical, ethically approved research. And then we had the MyTax winner of our program receive a research award. And so then we started to help her with understanding how to conduct research. So we added a course. So now there's a research methods course on there. So thank you, Moira. And all over, we have students all over for their internships. And the 2nd year, you're here in Canada. You stay in Canada, in BC. We're very hands-on with you, making sure everything is working to the best possible degree for you. So we're with you in your 2nd year on campus and in BC. And but the 4th year, anywhere you want to go for your internship is the world's open to you to choose anywhere you wish. And so then we help with that. Yes, Susan, absolutely. We'll get Maya with us on that trip. I should be speaking with her this week. Susan's referring to someone who I did my Masters of Arts with. I met her in my first day here in 2012 for my MATM, and we've been friends ever since. And we're both finishing our doctorates together as well. So these great relationships and friendships that just keep on giving. Oh, there's some of our graduates. You know, it's beautiful to see because these amazing graduates are hiring my students right now. So I'm looking at these lovely faces and I'm thinking they are hiring my students, and it's just so exciting. So we're 2-3 years down the road from these graduates who are now taking our students under their wing and helping them with their skills and knowledge. So very exciting to see. Thank you, Mara. Some examples of places where people have gone for their internships. This is pretty up to date. I'm seeing a few that were this summer that we can be adding as well. So people really can choose wherever they want to go in the 4th year, and we'll help them with that. The applied piece we talked about a few minutes ago, this is where you can get involved. So you can decide, you really can live your experience very wide here. You can decide where you want to put your energies, and they can be different things over the degree completion of the 2 years or over your 4 years. So we present opportunities for you to compete. If you're interested in that, we join, we help, we guide, we mentor, and we put teams forward in national competitions and international competitions. There's one that's happening starting in January, and it's the first time we've been in it. It's called Map the System. Canada, and RRU is in it with 2 teams. So I have a 3rd year BAIHM team in Map the System Canada and a 4th year team. So very, very interesting. That's new for us. We also send students, I think this is coming up on the next slide. We have the Young Hotelier Summit, so students compete for that. Thank you, that's beautiful. Amara, we just, so great, thank you. So we have students, they had it online last year, they're offering online, a virtual or in person this year. So Lausanne is a very exciting space for hoteliers. Certainly the Swiss hotels, they're well known, very well known for their expertise in this space. So we stay connected with them. We get invited to send students to this conference, so we're always participating. There's a resurgence now with the in-person conferences happening in BC. We have quite a few happening in January, February, and March, some virtual as well. So anytime we can put content into the students' classroom, we'll connect you with those moments. So at any point when you're interested in looking at those, you find a conference that you think would be interesting, then we're very open to that as well. And yeah, these are some of the students participating. You can see the action, lots of activity happening. There's a tremendous amount of knowledge and skills based in this area. We don't have to go very far in Victoria to find all of this, whether it's a tourism or a hospitality adventure. So we're always looking for these moments. Going up the Malahat now to the recently started Skywalk. Malahat Skywalk has just been outstanding, and we just introduced the tourism community just introduced something very exciting to check out called the Spirit Loop. And so our students are just in the right place at the right time to be helping with guiding our economy back to where it needs to be. And they're learning, they're understanding what they get from Steve and Trina, certainly help them with all of these big moments. Thanks very much, Mara. And then maybe you want to take a semester abroad. So we have lots of students who have done this. If you wish to speak to those students to get a firsthand understanding of where they went and what they experienced, we certainly can do that for you. I have 2 students in their 3rd year who are applying for this right now in their 4th year. They're interested in going in the 1st and 2nd term of their 4th year. The motivations are different. If you go in your 1st term of your 4th year, then you come back and you finish here. Some students want to go and stay and work and apply into those big internship moments abroad. And so that puts the international feel right into our BA. And we've got a couple of other, did you have the Australian, see that there's one more slide for international exchanges. Yes, thought so, good. Yeah, we have some newer agreements happening right now as well, including recently Australia. I think there's 2 or 3 just happening right now, agreements being signed. There's also no worries on the sorry, Amara, I jumped on you there, but the for the exchanges, you get your credential from Royal Roads. Your courses are all aligned. We help you with that and stay in touch with you to make sure it's you're taking courses there that you would normally be taking here, so you don't miss out. You're only gaining, and your tuition is with us. You don't do anything there other than getting yourself there. You have you're still in a Canadian degree, Canadian credential. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Moira. So much information. I'm glad it's recorded so that we can rewatch it, because you've shared so much, and thank you so much. Now we're jumping into how to apply. So you're at that point where you're like, you know what, this is the program for me. I want to do it. So now it's like how to apply. And my biggest recommendation is our website outlines clearly how to apply, like all of the steps, the requirements, all of that. I'm going to go through it briefly today, but always look to the website. We keep the application deadlines completely up to date there. It's just the place to look. we also have our contact information for the enrollment team on the website. So how to apply. So we have part of what makes Royal Roads really unique is we have standard admissions, but we also have flexible admissions because we understand that everyone here is joining us from a different career path. They have different life experience, different work experience. So we really recognize and acknowledge that through both our standard and our flexible admission. So our standard admission into the program is a completion of a diploma or 60 credits from a recognized post-secondary institution in areas such as hospitality, tourism, or business administration with a minimum of 24 second year credits and a minimum of a B. So we also, for the standard admission, look for at least 400 hours of tourism or hospitality related work experience. And as we mentioned earlier about block transfer and transfer agreements, make sure to check out our transfer agreement webpage to see if your institution is there if you're wanting to join us for the 3rd and 4th year with a block transfer. So now into the flexible admissions. What I want to say is that we assess every single application case by case. So never ever self-select out. If you're not sure if you have the requirements or if you have everything that you need to be accepted, contact us, connect with us. We're here to talk to you about it and assess you case by case. So I always like to say that because sometimes, students will look at our flexible admission and go, I'm not quite the right fit. Let's have that conversation because we can definitely talk to you and see where maybe you do have the experience you need and you just didn't realize that counted as the experience. So flexible admission, to be considered for the flexible admission, applicants would normally require at least 5 years of mid to upper level work experience in the hotel industry. As I mentioned, and I'll emphasize again, we review it on a case by case basis. And you don't have to apply, you don't have to choose to apply through standard or flexible. You submit your application and then we make that decision once it's submitted. So just to mention that. And in addition, if you do come through the flexible admissions, applicants will normally be required to take academic writing and critical thinking and obtain a minimum final grade of a B. Okay, so key dates, we've mentioned it before and we always keep these on our website. The intake is going to be in September of 2022. The application is July 12th, 2022. But as Moira mentioned earlier, you can submit it now. If you're ready to apply, we're always looking at applications. We don't wait until the application deadline to then look through all of them and then accept people to the program. We're looking at them as they come in. So if you're ready to go, you can apply now. You don't have to wait for the deadline, but that is our deadline. Always keep an eye on the website because sometimes we'll update it if we're giving students a bit more space to apply. But that is our upcoming next intake. So it seems like it's, what is that, 8 months away? I can't even do the math. It feels like it's pretty soon though. Okay, so now we're at the point where it's like how to apply. You're ready to go. You want to start an online application on our website. So you create an account. The fee is $128 and some change, and that just starts your application process. You apply to the program and you're going to submit some supporting documents. So supporting documents look like official transcripts. So that's any transcripts from post-secondary, or any certifications, like any transcripts, we have you send them to us in a sealed envelope directly from the institution, or you can also get them to email us directly as well. And you're also going to submit a detailed resume. So what we mean by a detailed resume is more than what you would maybe use to apply for a job. It's like a resume that really goes into detail about your work experience, your past education. We want to know if you're part of any memberships or any affiliations. We want to know, oh, this is like where you would add things that you think we would want to know when we're looking at your application package. And we also have you submit a personal statement or your statement of intent. This is your why. And I recently applied to a program at Royal Roads, and this was my favorite part of the application process because it made you really think like, why am I applying for this program? Where do I want to go? Like, where am I coming from? What can I contribute to the program? Where do I want it to take me? And it was just a really powerful thing. And I really find that there is a lot of power behind defining your why. So I enjoyed this part. And like I mentioned on our website, we kind of outline what you want to include in the detailed resume and in your personal statement. And a bit of a pro tip, we do ask for 2 letters of reference. What I recommend you do, though, is write your personal statement, your why first, and then share it with the 2 letters of reference of the people who you want to write your reference, because then they can really understand your motivation and they can kind of tailor their letters of reference to really fit why you're applying to the program. Awesome. Okay. So in addition, financial aid, we all understand that going back to school or going to school is a big investment, a worthy investment, but a big investment. So we do have a financial aid and award office that they're just equipped to help you with all things around financial aid and awards. So I highly recommend, even at this point in the process of looking to apply, reach out to them. You can go to their website, you can set up an appointment with one of their specialists, and you can talk about awards or loans or any other forms of funding with them. So I definitely recommend that. And as I mentioned, we are here to support. And as Moira had mentioned at the very beginning, we're really here to be flexible. We're really here because we want to support you. So if you have any questions whatsoever, or questions whether or not the program is the right fit for you, connect with us directly. You can reach out to our enrollment advisors, learn.more@royalroads.ca if you're joining from within Canada. And if you're coming from outside of Canada, you would want to connect with the International Admissions and Registration, which is learn.more.international@royalroads.ca. So don't hesitate to connect with us. And now we're kind of coming up to the end of our session. I know we covered a lot, so you might not even have any questions from all that we covered. But now I'd like to welcome any questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. Awesome. And you know what? A question that I always get from people interested in the program, Moira, is, can I work and go to school at the same time?
If your personal skills allow it, like you want to be able to get the most out of your education, but you also will probably enjoy the work that's available here. There's lots of it. As an international student, you can work 20 hours as well. So you do have that parameter, which is great. So it allows you for your studies as well. Because if you have 33 hours of instruction, you're looking at 2 to 3 times that as well in your overall. So you have to think about your timing and what you can do. There's certain crunch periods. I mean, during week 6 and 12 of a program, that's usually the testing or the exams or the presentations. Like this morning it's week 11 in the program, and Steve's got presentations happening. So you might not have wanted to work last night if you needed some rest for this morning, but yes, you can certainly, everyone, I would say 90% of our students are working, and then that helps them too when they get into the internship. For our students that are coming from countries where English is their additional language, it certainly helps with when you're working in the additional language as well. That helps also with when your class comprehension also really goes up too. So short answer, yes.
Hi Tara, would you like to ask a question? I can give you permission to unmute, or if you'd like to say anything. And okay, let me just give you that permission there.
Hey, good morning or good afternoon. I'm here in Nova Scotia where it is afternoon. So my name is Tara Lacey. I'm a faculty here at the Nova Scotia Community College. We have within the School of Business, we have a tourism hospitality program and also a business tourism 2-year diploma. And so I'm really just here to learn a little bit more. We do have an articulation agreement with Royal Roads. And so this was a great opportunity to get to know a little bit more about a program, which looks like a fantastic program. Love to see all the applied facets, and really great to hear from some faculty directly. And so I just wanted to say thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm sorry, I have to unmute and answer. That's so beautiful. Thank you so much, Laura. That's awesome. I lived in New Brunswick when I was with Fairmont. I moved to Moncton to open the call center. So I got a full, beautiful, anytime I could, I met 200 fabulous people like when we opened, and I think I'm still friends with most of those folks. They're just so fantastic. It was probably the highlight of my career, was going to New Brunswick, and then I got to go to Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island. The only place I didn't get to was Newfoundland. So I didn't get, but that's still on my list. But
It's been a commitment to get to Newfoundland,
it was a
honestly.
commitment.
Yes, it's not just an add-on, it's a trip in itself.
right. So thank you for saying that, because yeah, I was like, how come I'm all the way here and I can't get to Newfoundland? But I couldn't. So
Well, if you do make it to Holland College, Moira, I'm really hoping you'll just skip on over. We're only hours away.
that's happening. That's absolutely happening. So I know Amara's going to give some emails and things at the end to connect. So yes, I 1000% will do that. And that is just such a great idea. I have friends in Prince Edward Island that want to connect with Holland, and their friendships and our friendships here. It's like, I'm thinking, you know, coast to coast, island to island, there's something there to do.
Well, this is cool that we can do this way and set things up. I have a class at 1 o'clock, so I do have to scoot away to that. But I did want to just say thank you very much. And I'll just keep tuned for any follow-ups that you do send through. So
I'll send everything by email, and I just wanted to invite myself along to the road trip where we go across Canada.
That's right.
I will also be there because that sounds like so much fun. Thanks, Tara. Have a good class. No, Susan's going to come to the road trip as well. I see that. Bye.
Okay, perfect.
I love our college community. It's so fantastic. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And I know we're coming to the end of today's session, so I will share out a recording of this session by email, and I'll share out all the contact information. So if you have any questions, you connect and can connect with us. And this was just such a great way to start the day. Thank you so much, everyone. Moira, I always learn so much from you every time we chat. So thank you. And thank you to Nancy behind the scenes supporting with the chat and tech support. And thank you to everyone who joined us today or is watching this recording later.